data, what you want to do is to look out for up to 5 data points that you need to go check out, and you need to go investigate and figure out if truly bad UX is the reason why you're having probably a low retention rate at a particular point. Again, retention rate is an example here. It could be anything. It could literally be anything in your business. Hello everyone, welcome to my YouTube channel. My name is Oluwamayowa Oshidera. So on this episode, in this video, I'm going to be talking about how to use the Lean Analytics framework to drive your growth metric upward in your company, majorly to use the Lean Analytics framework to grow your marketing or sales or what have you. So when running your startup or your innovative business, one of the things you'll be really concerned about is, how do I grow? How do I grow the stats, grow the metrics, grow the data and all that, right? So sometimes you're not even very sure what you should make changes to so that you can grow. Meaning sometimes you're not sure what exactly to look at. So what the Lean Analytics framework does is it provides a way for you to drive some growth through the whole concept of testing and growing with data. So what the Lean Analytics framework says really is, number one, you choose what you want to improve. So what do I want to improve? So that's the first step. You choose what you want to improve. You're sure what you want to improve. Sometimes it could be you want to improve your sales, you want to reduce your churn rate, you want to increase your retention, what have you. So you choose what you want to improve. So you need to be clear on that, because the results will be based on what you have chosen here. I advise that you choose one thing, go through the funnel or go through the sequence for that before going to choose another thing. If you have a lot of things, if you choose a lot of things, chances are that you won't be able to measure each in a clear-cut way and see whether you're getting progress. So number two, next you create an hypothesis. So what is an hypothesis? Hypothesis is a guess, right? If you did some preliminary science in secondary school, hypothesis is like your proposition, what I think is wrong, right? That's your guess, or that's your, how do I say it? That's your explanation for why what you want to improve here is the way it is. Maybe you want to increase your sales. Okay, I think we're not having a lot of sales because people don't get what we're trying to offer. I think we don't have high retention because we have a bad user experience on our app or on our website or on our checkout page or something. So imagine maybe you saw your data and then you see that, oh, people are dropping out at this certain page. So maybe the user experience at that end is not great, right? So how do you choose an hypothesis? There are two ways, right? First way is first approach is you choosing an hypothesis with data, right? Say, like I said, probably you saw that there's a low checkout rate. Then you said, oh, it's bad UX. So bad user experience is your wild guess. So if you have data, what you want to do is to look out for up to 5 data points that you need to go check out, and you need to go investigate and figure out if truly bad UX is the reason why you're having probably a low retention rate at a particular point. Again, retention rate is an example here. It could be anything. It could literally be anything in your business, right? So so you choose 5 data points. Remember, I actually advise 5 because if you choose one data point, you might be misled. For example, imagine someone saying that, oh, we have a low retention, and then the person went to check bounce rate and said that, oh, we have a very high bounce rate. That's why we're having low retention, our bounce rate. So from this bounce rate data, I already know it's bad UX. So you can't say that because you have high bounce rate, you have a bad UX. There are other things you need to check. You need to check the amount of time spent on that page. You need to check the exit rate on that page. You need to check if you can track the mouse clicks on that page and the intent of people on that page, right? You can be able to see that, oh, people are having issues knowing where the next button is or what to do next. When you have all those data, then you say, okay, yeah, bad UX is why we are having, or why bad UX is my hypothesis, right? But in some cases, you don't have data, right? When you don't have data, what you do is to take a wild guess, right? If you're an expert growth hacker or growth specialist, you would probably have a wide range of experience that lets you know that, okay, from these things I'm seeing, I think it should be this. But if you're just getting started, or if you are doing this yourself as the founder and then you aren't used to this whole thing, then you can take a wild guess or reach out to me. Yeah. So again, if you have data, you look at the data carefully. Why do we have to choose our hypothesis carefully? Our hypothesis, or what we think is wrong, would form the basis of the follow-up actions we take. So, there's okay, let me just not get into that, but pretty much if the foundation is wrong, right, the building just does like this. So if you have chosen the right hypothesis, you could go ahead to perform a follow-up action and then you just waste the money. I'll show you that in a bit. So those are the 2 ways of choosing an hypothesis. Then number 3, you perform the experiment, or you choose an experiment or choose a follow-up action. My hypothesis is bad UX. A follow-up action is redesigning the website or redesigning the checkout page or redesigning the app, right? You go ahead to choose a follow-up action. Okay, so we need to redesign the app. Then you can start talking to your engineering team or talking to your developer that, okay, how much will it cost to do this, to do that, right? But even in the process of doing the experiment, you want to be very qualitative so that you don't go ahead to do something that is worse than what you currently have, right? So when you take next, like I said, you choose your follow-up action. Then 4, you just go ahead to implement that action, right? Go ahead to redesign the app. Go ahead to change the copy on the page. Go ahead to redesign new banners for the page. That probably explains your offer. Then when you're done taking the action, depending on what you're trying to improve, you give some time to gather some data, some rich feedback. So whether you are gathering that through your Google Analytics or any other analytics tool, you go ahead to pretty much take action, and then when you have gathered data, then you go ahead to analyze your data, right? Analyzing your data is, did everything I spent time and money on, did it produce the result? Was I able to improve what I really wanted to improve from this place, right? So that's the whole sequence. So there are 3 types of data you can have. 3 types of data you can have, and then I'll tell you how to interpret those data. Number 1 is the data shows that what you want to improve, which is the retention rate, increased so drastically, right? If that is the kind of data you got, maybe retention rate was 20%, then you just saw 60%. If you get that kind of data, what just happened is that, yes, your hypothesis was correct. Yes, it was bad user experience that is making you have a low retention rate. Second type of data you can have is retention rate increased, or what you wanted to improve got improved a little bit, but not that drastic. If you get that kind of data, chances are that your hypothesis is correct. What you thought was wrong could actually be what is wrong, but your follow-up action wasn't as helpful, or you probably didn't implement the follow-up action well enough, right? So maybe we say bad UX is our hypothesis, then our follow-up is to redesign the app. So maybe even what you redesigned the app into still didn't have a very good UX, user experience. Or maybe you saw that your hypothesis is that you need to change the copy of that page. Maybe the new copy you have didn't really perform that much action. The fact that it increased, you saw a little increase, means there's still something you haven't scratched, and that is your implementation, right? Third type of data you can get is you didn't see any change at all. Nothing changed. What that means is your hypothesis is wrong. Bad UX is not the reason why you're having low retention rate. So what then do? You choose another hypothesis. So it's not bad UX. So in this case, we're just going to say load speed, right? Page load speed. So that will be your next hypothesis, right? Okay, I think bad UX is already cancelled out. Then I think let's go for page load speed. Again, you see if you have data to support whether load speed is the issue, or if you don't, you take a wild guess. So that is the process of the lean analytic framework. Improving one thing could take a long time or could take a short time, depending on how knowledgeable you are about maneuvering the data you have. Really, the data is what leads you on to help you eliminate a lot of things. I was saying the other time that you need to be very, very careful about the hypothesis you choose. The guy that chose bad UX as his hypothesis and has went ahead to spend $20,000 to redesign the app, only to find out that there was no change. That person has just wasted the money. You might as well send the money to my account, right? The person has just wasted the money because what you said was the hypothesis wasn't it, right? Well, sometimes you actually lose money while going through this process, but eventually, right, you would find out what works, and then it will be worth all of the amount you have spent to iterate. So this is just a very streamlined and guided iterative process to growth, right? Like I said, you need to be careful about choosing your hypothesis. I will make a new video about how to choose the right hypothesis, how to do it with data, how to do it without data. Then I'll talk about how to choose the right follow-up action. I advise you start with the cheapest follow-up action first. I mean, of course, when you have like 5 follow-up actions, you would see the one that will cost you $1,000, $0, $5,000, $10,000, $20,000. So you want to go little by little so that you don't just go for the biggest option of redesign. In this flow, redesigning the app here is a very, very bad follow-up action, because you're going to spend $20,000, and if that isn't the issue, you have wasted time, you have wasted money. So you need to know how to choose the right hypothesis and how to choose the right follow-up action. I will make 2 videos for that so you can see how to get that done. Thank you for tuning in to this video. I hope you found some value. Please subscribe to my channel and like the video so that others can see. If you need me to talk with you, maybe you want to have a clarity session, or you just even want to get me as your growth consultant to help you walk through this and achieve some perpetual growth, please send me an email. My email is in the description box. And yeah, you can check out other videos. I promise that they will be as valuable as this. Thank you so much, and see you in my next video.